Hi, everybody. This is Todd with the Forex Nitty Gritty Insiders Daily video. Hope everybody had a good weekend and the markets are working in your favor. We have had a pretty strong drop in some of these pairs, some nice trends based off of what we're seeing with the US dollar strengthening here since the open of the US markets here. And sometimes those are the best times to look for those trades. Now, I want to point out something that a lot of people will look at, and we've talked about this in the past, and that is the concept of gaps. And you can see here a pretty good example of a gap from the close on Friday to the open on Sunday here. Now, this case is not that big of a gap. It's not a huge gap at all. In fact, it was let's see, about 20 pips or so that this thing gapped down. But we have talked in the past about how gaps will fill, meaning that they'll open up down like this, and then they'll fill back up, at least to get back to this price where it closed before it starts to move down. Now, we didn't see that with this. In fact, it just kind of stayed as a gap and has moved down since. Now, this is a 15-minute chart. Now, when we start to see the trend become established, we usually will start to think about the fact that the momentum has shifted, and we're looking at opportunities or four opportunities to enter in using the simple trading method. Now, if we zoom out on this, you can see that we had the market turn, and really the moving average started to move down right in this area here. And so as we were looking here for opportunities to trade, we want to look for the times when the market pulls back, in this case up towards the resistance area, and then look for an opportunity to get in as it begins to move down below the lowest low of the last three. Now, in this case, from the gap, and again, the open of the week was right here. We've really just kind of gone through our first news time here, and really not a whole lot going on this Monday as far as the actual economic reports have been announced. But we've seen some pretty good movements to the downside. Now, if we look for opportunities that have occurred to trade, well, let's take a look at a couple things here. First of all, we've got this area here where it pulled back up towards this resistance area and then moved below the lowest low of the last three. And we have this area right here, moved up towards resistance. Lowest low of the last three would have been in this area here. Now, obviously, looking back, it's easy to see that, but we had a pretty decent reaction to where this thing was going. So we had a pretty good break of resistance, support at this area, also at this area here. Our two entries would have been at the lowest low of the last three, so right there. Lowest low of the last three is about right there. And we had a nice move down. There's 30 pips. So picking up 10 or 15 or 20 pips out of these is really a reasonable expectation. Again, another 30-ish pips that this thing dropped. Now, when we do that, we're going to place our stop loss just above the most recent prior swing high, which would have been right there. And in this case, would have been right here. Get rid of the wrong button there. There we go. So right above this high there. So from a risk standpoint, we had about a 10 pip risk for about a 30 pip possible move on there. And then on this one, we had a little bit bigger risk about 15 to make 30. So, 2 to 1, 3 to 1 kind of reward to risk ratio on some of those, although we're not eliminating them if they don't have that amount. But the key is to understand that when something is in a good trend, we want to look for opportunities to take advantage of that simple trading method. And right now, we've got a nice trend. So what we'd be looking for is another time where this pulls back towards an area of resistance, and then looking to get in as it begins to move down below the lows of the last three. And we can see that type of trend happening on a lot of these pairs at the beginning of the week. So with that, we will wrap it up for today. If you have questions, let me know. If not, have a great rest of the day trading, and we'll talk to you soon.